Hello everyone, I'm so happy to see you again. I'm Kevin if you are new. And today I thought it would be fun to make 3 easy and delicious appetizers that can count as dinner. We will also make a signature cocktail, and if the weather holds up, we can have a stroll in the garden. And the appetizers are bean dip with fresh rosemary and sage, radish and goat cheese crostino, and baked taquitos or flautas. And we're going to start with the bean dip with rosemary and sage. Going to pull the rosemary needles off of this stem, and then we can finely chop them. Actually, we don't have to chop them too finely because the food processor will do that work. So I have rosemary, and I need some good-sized sage leaves. And I think 7 or 8 of these leaves will be enough. So I'm chopping these herbs, sage, and I already have a good-sized clove of garlic that I peeled earlier. And I'm going to need the juice from half of a lemon, salt and pepper, some grated Parmesan cheese. I grated mine earlier, olive oil, and the key ingredient, cannellini beans. These are from a 15.5 ounce can, and I did drain and rinse the beans. And these go right into the food processor, along with the garlic, lemon juice, a handful of the grated Parmesan cheese, black pepper. I may not need any salt. I will taste this after the dip is made. And the rosemary and sage. Some olive oil just to get this party started. My goal here is to create a smooth but thick dip. And I can tell I will need some additional olive oil. Let's have a little taste. Oh, this is fabulous. Now there's salt in the Parmesan, but I'm going to add a very small pinch of salt to the dip. See if we can take this dip to beyond fabulous. Fresh spoon. Ooh, that did the trick. This is incredible. I don't know what I'm going to do with the second half of the lemon, so I'm going to go ahead and just add it to the dip. Extra lemon never hurt anybody that I'm aware of. Now we can scrape this gorgeous goodness into an attractive bowl. Add a little sprig of rosemary, just for looks. And then I'm going to cover this and pop it into the refrigerator. We are covered. Now I want to cut some fresh veggies into wedges that we can serve alongside the dip. I think colorful bell peppers will go very well with this dip. I'm just going to cut these into odd wedges. See, then we can scoop up the dip this way. We can throw these peppers into a bag until we are ready to serve our little appetizers as dinner party. And there we have it, one course and its side dish all ready to go into the refrigerator. I just realized that I should probably make my signature cocktail right now because it needs to chill in the refrigerator. The cocktail is standard cosmopolitan, which I enjoy and which I think all of my friends enjoy. And we need lots of lime juice for this. Look at the size of these limes. Huge. Maybe 3 will be enough. Yeah, I think it's easier to have a signature cocktail on hand rather than offer, well, every kind of alcohol under the sun. This is a very efficient juicer. And once again, I'd like to thank the kind viewer who sent it to me. Put these in a bowl because these can go into the compost. I need orange liqueur. This is Cointreau, just a splash. Also need cranberry juice. If I can wedge this lid loose. Lizette just removed this lid for me. And then the star of the Cosmopolitan. Well, I think lime juice and cranberry juice are really co-starring in this cocktail, but we do need vodka. I'm not following any recipe for this, but I do taste. Give this a little stir first. Yum. Ooh, nice with the lime. That was just the right amount of lime juice. I won't have to add any ice to this because we're going to let it chill in the refrigerator for several hours. And since we are here, we might as well slice up a lime, and we can use these slices for garnishing the cocktail glasses. And I can put these lime slices in a little food storage container with a lid and pop them into the refrigerator until it's dinner time. I'm going to put my limes and cocktail ingredients away, and then we can get started on the filling for the taquitos or flautas. I made taquitos or flautas for dinner the other night, and they were truly spectacular. I filled them with chicken and some Mexican-style cheese, and then I baked them instead of frying them. Frying is traditional, but baked, they came out very crispy and wonderful. And then as a dinner dish, I topped them with coleslaw, Mexican crema, and salsa. Spectacular. So I have some cilantro here because I'm going to change up the recipe I used the other night for something even more flavorful. There are many different ways to make flautas. Today I'm going to use shredded chicken plus some cream cheese, some shredded Mexican blend cheese, and cilantro. I don't think I need this entire block of cream cheese, so I'm going to start with half of it, and then I'm going to soften this in the microwave. add the chicken, the queso, and cilantro. And mix. I also want to add some salt and pepper. I need to taste this. It's good, but I think this could use a little squirt of lime juice. Clean fork and another taste. That was spot on. That was Lizette's suggestion, the lime juice. Now, you can make flautas with either corn tortillas or flour tortillas. I mean, I've seen them done both ways, but I think corn tortillas are traditional, and we have to heat the tortillas to make them pliable. I tried warming the corn tortillas between damp towels in the microwave. Didn't work. The tortillas still cracked. And then Lizette, who is Mexican, told me that the way to do it is on a hot skillet. And since my electric skillet affords more surface room than any of my other skillets do, I'm going to use it. Going to put a towel on a plate so that when my tortillas are nice and warm, I can keep them warm. And we can add more tortillas to the skillet. And then we can start filling. Now, when I fill a flautas, I put the filling, it's probably a tablespoon or so of the filling at one end, and then I roll the tortilla as tightly as possible. And I try to tuck under that first turn. And then you place the taquitos or flautas on a baking sheet. In a pinch, you can always weave a little wooden skewer through the rolled tortilla to help it keep its shape. But these are holding together very well. And there we have it, 20 flautas. And I forgot to mention that flautas actually refers to flute or flute shaped. Now, before I bake these off, I'm going to put them in the refrigerator, and then I want to make a quick trip to a local garden center. It's just right up the street, to see if they have any colorful hanging baskets that we might put in the herb garden. And I think we will enjoy our drinks and nibbles in the herb garden. Here at the independent garden store, the hanging basket offerings are almost overwhelming. I bought 2 baskets for the back wall of the herb garden and 1 for the urn at the center. Of course, there will be more flowers as the season progresses. I can't wait. It feels great to have those hanging baskets up. The warm season has officially arrived. Now for the third appetizer, we are going to make Radish Crostino. Crostino is the singular of crostini. I need my bread knife here. I have some French bread that I picked up at the local supermarket, and I'm going to cut it into, about half-inch slices. My cutting board is rocking on my work surface, so I think my work surface is a little warped, but this towel will fix that. I can throw these on a baking tray, and my oven is preheating to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius. And after these have toasted, I'm going to rub them with garlic. And while the bread is toasting, I want to prepare the goat cheese. So this is just common goat cheese that my supermarket sells. It's nothing fancy, but it is delicious. Now I had this goat cheese sitting out, so it is nice and soft. I just have to stir it. And I'm going to stir in a pinch of salt and a bit of freshly ground black pepper. And that's all there is to that. And then I want to finely slice some radishes. So I think we can enjoy our drinks and nibbles out in the herb garden, although when we were hanging the baskets there, I noticed that the carpenter bees are back. The ones flying around don't actually have stingers, so they are no threat. They're just kind of annoying. So I'm looking for a natural remedy to encourage them to move along. I'm going to take off the tops of my radishes so that I have a flat surface that my finger guard can cling to. And this reminds me, I have radish seeds to plant. Radishes mature in just 28 days. Now, as a garnish for the radish crostino, I'm going to make a basil chiffonade. So I have some basil leaves here. And to make a basil chiffonade, or a chiffonade of basil, you simply stack the leaves, and then you roll them up tightly as if you were rolling a cigar. And then you make little thin crosswise cuts. And there we have it, chiffonade of basil. And we can tuck these into a bowl. And our bread is ready. Then I want to rub each of these slices with a cut piece of garlic. And then we can assemble these radish crostino. So I simply spread some of the soft and seasoned goat cheese on each baguette round. Actually, this is French bread. It's not a proper baguette. All I have to do is add some radish slices to the bread. And we can put these on our serving platter. Save this one for me to eat. And then I do want to put some salt and pepper on top of these radishes. And then the chiffonade of basil. And we can scatter the remaining chiffonade all over the platter. Radish Crostino. Oh, let me try one of these for you. I have to steal back some of my basil. I am always amazed at how such simple ingredients can have such a sophisticated taste. This is awesome. Now my oven has preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 200 degrees Celsius, and I'm going to spray the flautas, or taquitos, with avocado oil. The oil will encourage the corn tortillas to become very crispy in the oven. These will need probably 10 to 15 minutes in the oven. And while the flautas are baking, we can put the bean dip with fresh rosemary and sage on a platter. Dip in the middle, and I need a spoon for it. Actually, I think this silver knife will work well. Then I can arrange the colorful peppers all around the dip. So this dip and these peppers would make a lovely little dinner or luncheon all by themselves. And then we can assemble the taquito platter. So I have some bowls here. This is store-bought guacamole, okay? And it is a very excellent guacamole at that. I also have some Mexican crema, or crema mexicana. I always thought crema was simply sour cream, but I bought this the other day when I had taquitos for dinner, and it's quite different from sour cream. I actually prefer it to sour cream. And in this third bowl, I have some store-bought thick salsa. And I need a spoon for each of these condiments because I do not want to encourage anyone to double dip their taquitos. The taquitos are done, and I'm just keeping them warm in the oven because I need to bring Avery on a short walk in the garden, and I hope he will join us. And afterwards, we can arrange the taquitos on this platter, and then my friend Vicky is coming over, and my spouse will be joining us later. On this late April day, spring is busting out all over. Near my front porch, hostas are unfurling their leaves, and the vinca minor is cloaked in blue and white blossoms. In the back garden, weeping crabapple trees are leafing out and budding up, and the daffodils and hyacinths are in fragrant bloom. After the long, cold winter, it's a joy to witness the rebirth of the garden. Because woodland creatures are welcome on my property, I do keep Avery on a leash when we are walking in the gardens that are not fenced. I let her run freely in my gardens that are enclosed. I want both Avery and the woodland creatures to remain safe. I had to change my shirt. It was much, much too warm outside for that black turtleneck and that vest jacket that I was wearing. So now I want to arrange some lime rounds on these cocktail glasses. Will you look at these and listen? Super crispy. Traditionally, flautas are shallow fried in oil, but just by spraying these taquitos with the avocado oil, they turn perfectly crisp in the oven. And before we head outside, let me just try just one of these taquitos for you. And some crema. Do I want avocado? I think I want salsa. And I'll put a little avocado, or rather guacamole, on the side here. I hope you could hear that crunch. Delicious. Now again, when I served these flautas for dinner, I put several on a plate and then I chopped them with store-bought coleslaw, just plain coleslaw, no mayonnaise or anything. And then I added some crema and some salsa to the top. They were spectacular. Of course, these are spectacular this way. And I think the filling really knocks it out of the park. And it's just chicken, cream cheese, salt, pepper, and a splash of lime juice. And the lime really did something wonderful to the filling, really brightened it up. And our cosmopolitan cocktail is nicely chilled. Let's head outside. Victoria has arrived. My spouse will join us later. We all love the simple make-ahead appetizers that counted as our dinner on this fine spring day. We also enjoyed our signature cocktail. I hope you feel inspired to try some of these appetizers. They really are perfect for parties or for a casual dinner. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. If the weather permits, in the next episode we will attempt to beautify the front porch of this 200-year-old house. Until then, please treat yourself very, very well. Bye for now, friends.